I met a dragon face to face. The year when I was 10, I took a trip to outer space. I braved the pirate's den. I wrestled with the wicked troll and fought a great white shark. I trailed a rabbit down a hole. I hunted for a snark. I stowed above a submarine. I opened magic doors. I traveled in a time machine and searched for dinosaurs. I climbed atop a giant's head. I found a pot of gold. I did all this in the books I read when I was 10 years old. Hey, McGraw, did you guys know that we're doing a summer reading? I hope so, because this is like the best thing ever. Summer reading is going to keep our brains going throughout the summer. We're going to learn a lot, and guess what? You guys are going to get to go on a lot of adventures. So please make sure you do your summer reading. I got a secret. Don't tell anyone. Did you know that when you do your reading log on the website, right? Shh, because Miss Giles don't even know. When you do your reading log on the website, Mr. Rock, my friend, he's going to take your names, he's going to put it in a hat, he's going to do a raffle. A raffle, y'all. And you know what some of the things you may be able to get? I'm talking about gift cards, a Nintendo Switch. I mean, there's so many cool things that he's getting, but don't tell anybody. Just make sure you do your work. Let me show you guys exactly how you can make sure you get put into the raffle. You guys ready? Okay, so you know how on your class website, right? There's a form there called the reading log. Now, you have to do this by Thursday at 2 o'clock. Listen, Thursday, 2 o'clock, each week in the summer, you have to get this done in order to be put into the raffle. If you come in late, I'm telling you, Mr. Rock, he is always on time. He is never late. So he's going to check these at 2 o'clock. So if you decide to come 4 o'clock, your name is not going to go in the raffle. So please, please, please make sure you do it. 2 o'clock on Thursday. This is what the form looks like, okay? First, you're gonna put your name. So we already know whose name is gonna go in a raffle. That's the first thing you have to do. Then you're gonna put in what grade you're in and what grade you're going to. So for example, you guys already know I'm a second grade teacher, right? So my second grade friends are second grade, but they're going to the third grade. You're not done. You have to hit next. Now, here's your second page of this form. Then you have to make sure you do the whole thing, because if not, it's not going to go through. Right here, you're going to list all the books and articles that you read throughout the days that you read. So let's say, for example, I read The Cat in the Hat. But I read more than that because it didn't take me 20 minutes for 5 days to read The Cat in the Hat. So then I read Green Eggs and Ham. And then let's say I read June Peters Takes Over the World. Right? So those are the 3 books that I read. Now, June Peters is a little bit longer, so maybe I took 2 days to read that. I'm going to put in all of the days that I read for 20 minutes. So it's super duper important that you set a timer so you know that you've read at least for 20 minutes. I want to say I read Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I read on Thursday before 2 o'clock. Now, the next question says, was the story fiction or nonfiction? So I'm going to think about one of the books that I read. Let's say June Peters Takes Over the World. Is that a real story or a fake story? Is that fiction or nonfiction? Well, June Peters is not a real person, so that's definitely fiction. Have to hit next. This is our final page, the last page that we need to do. This is the page that proves to everybody in the world that you read this story and you understand what you read. You are going to answer the questions on this page like if you were a second grader, you're a third grader. Like if you were a fourth grader, now you're a fifth grader. You're going to answer these questions like a big kid, okay? So it says, share something interesting you thought about as you were reading. I'm going to wrap my answer. Something interesting is that June Peters felt sorry for the homeless man. Period. Capital, period, and I wrap my answer. Who are the characters? The characters are June and her family. Also, the homeless people, period. Capital, period. Notice that I am wrapping my answers. What is the setting of your story? Remember, the setting is where it takes place. This story takes place at June's house and the park, period. The last three questions, I'm telling you, these last three answers have to make sure they make sense. Because I would hate for a teacher to call you and say, you know what, I need you to go back and reread that book. So make sure that you answer these questions like a total big kid. What happened at the beginning, middle, and end of the story? In the beginning. And then you're going to tell what happened in the beginning. In the middle of the story, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end of the story, blah, 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 blah. You're going to make sure you don't write blah, 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 and actually put in your answer. Next question, what is the problem in the story? The problem in the story is that June wanted to help the homeless man, period. How was the problem solved? June had a feed the homeless day at the park. And then you're going to hit submit. Once you hit submit, all of your answers are going to go to this great place where Mr. Rock will see all your information, and you will get to be entered into the raffle. Guys, reading is so, so important. It's critical. It is so that our brains can keep going, so that we can articulate or speak very well. So please make sure that you read this summer. It is so important, guys. I want you guys to come back to school ready to go in the fall and not your brains have cobwebs. You want to make sure that your brains are working. And guess what? We want to hear about your great adventures through the books that you read. Maybe you'll search for dinosaurs. Or maybe you'll see a pot of gold on top of a giant's head. If you have any questions or you need some help, please fill out the contact form on your class website and somebody will get to answer your questions, okay? Bye. Love you.